Good evening. Roofs have been ripped off buildings, falling trees have injured people as they hit homes, and thousands lost power as Storm Imogen battered the west.
Winds of up to 75 miles an hour were recorded, and the Met Office is warning more bad weather is on the way. We start tonight with this report from Victoria Davis on the impact of the storm so far.
Branches covered this kitchen worktop and floor after a tree ripped through the roof of this flat in St Anne's in Bristol. The owner was stood directly below and escaped with minor injuries.
Suddenly I heard this classic crashing noise of the tree coming down. Looked up and saw the tree coming towards me through the window. I wanted to duck down and then was showered with debris and hit over the head with one of the branches.
Elsewhere, the winds left a trail of destruction. The roof of this bank in Yatton was torn from the building as winds reached hurricane speeds of 75 miles per hour. The Severn Bridge was shut, and many other roads across the region, including the A35 in Dorset, were left impassable.
We've had roads flooded, we've had properties at risk, and we've also had, people that just can't access somewhere. So we've had all sorts of issues that we've had to deal with. The trees down as well is another problem because that also closes roads and brings a hazard in itself.
The winds brought power lines down across the west, leaving thousands of homes without power. In Gloucestershire, pupils at Hamberley School were briefly sent home as urgent repairs were carried out to electricity cables. But it wasn't just the wind causing problems. Storm Imogen also brought with her the rain, turning pavements into streams and rivers into torrents. Here in Bradford-on-Avon, this riverside walk behind me is now completely submerged. People here say they've been shocked at how quickly the river burst its banks, and with this rain, there's a risk that the water levels could rise even further.
This is quite shocking to see it this high. I've lived in Bradford-on-Avon all my life and I have seen it higher, but it's very worrying.
The wind is nasty. I don't like the wind. But, I mean, they've got these flood barriers now, which is a great idea. But, I mean, it's getting nasty now, isn't it?
Ducks may be enjoying the weather, but flood warnings remain in place across the region this evening. And for some, it's now the start of the clear-up after being battered by the storm. Victoria Davis, ITV News.
Towns and villages on the North Somerset coast are bracing themselves for high tide in the next hour.
Take a look at this. This was the scene at Weston-super-Mare this morning, and waves of up to 6 metres high are expected off the coast this evening as the sea rises again. Well, a short while ago, Bob Cruz sent us this report on how the town is coping.
It really has been a very bracing afternoon here on the seafront at Weston-super-Mare. The wind's been blowing in off the sea at about 50 miles an hour, and at times gusts of more than 70. I'm sheltering at the moment from the worst of it behind this beach safety information sign. But if I take one step forwards towards you, you'll see I get hit by the full force of it, and it really is quite strong. Actually, it kind of takes your breath away. It's actually quite hard to stand up. The tide is on the way in at the moment. High tide is about 6:20 this evening. You can see the debris that's been left behind by this morning's high tide when waves were crashing up over the wall here. A few people are enjoying a walk along the seafront very bravely. I think probably the more sensible people have taken refuge inside the few cafes that are open here on the seafront for a hot cup of tea.
Windy, raining, like basically no customers. The ones that have been coming in aren't very happy with the weather. Very windswept, not in for long, very, very horrible.
I bet they've been desperate for a hot cup of tea, haven't they?
They definitely have, yeah.
We've had one walk, but it's really bad, isn't it?
Really bad.
Yeah.
People have been losing their hats, and the children being under job to stand up. You know, they've been holding onto the pushchairs. It's been really the roughest we've had it here for a long time.
This is what they call bracing. I mean, people pay good money for this, you know, but it just blows all the cobwebs away. It's fantastic. You know, I love it. I love it.
On days like this, there's always one reporter who gets the job of standing out on the seafront in the full force of the wind and rain and sand that's blowing at me at the moment. Today I was lucky enough to get that job, and I think I've probably earned a cup of tea as well. Bob Cruz, ITV News, Weston-super-Mare.
I think he has earned a cup of tea.
Thought was cameraman.
Yeah.